Dr. Skip was really good about explaining to them that I understand you've been struggling with this and that he was there to help. I know this is hard and not something you usually want to talk to people about, but I'm on your side and I'm here to help you, so let's work on this together. My name is Amy Ergish. I have 10 children, 6 girls, 4 boys. Our kids range in age from 23 to age 4. Our oldest is in the Air Force. Then we have some in high school and grade school and preschool. I went to the pediatrician because I had a 8-year-old and a 6-year-old and a 4-year-old, and my 8-year-old and 6-year-old were still wetting the bed every single night. I tried not giving them any liquids after 6 o'clock, making sure they went to the bathroom before they went to bed, making sure they got up and went to the bathroom first thing in the morning. They would think they even had a dry night and be like, I didn't wet, and their diapers were still wet. It must have happened earlier in the night and they didn't even realize it.
Bedwetting is one of the biggest problems that most families deal with when it comes to children. It can be really, really hard on the parent because they don't really know why the kid is bedwetting. And to be honest with you, they get frustrated, and both sides do. The kid gets really embarrassed, and they had been bedwetting for most of their life. Like, they hadn't went a single night without being wet at all. I can imagine when I was a kid, I was at my first sleepover when I was like 8. I could only imagine what it would be like to not be able to do that with your friends.
My oldest son, the 8-year-old, was used to putting a diaper on every night before he went to bed. And then one night his sister had a friend over, and she's 2 years older, and he said, "Mom, are you going to put my diaper on?" And the girl said, "Your diaper?" And I think it was at that point that he really felt ashamed that he was still wetting the bed. And there was nothing he could do about it. I searched the internet for different ways to deal with bedwetting, natural ways, and chiropractor came up. So I knew a friend who brought her kids to the chiropractor, and I called her and asked her where she came, and she gave me Dr. Skip's number. I just didn't know how the chiropractor was going to help them not wet the bed, you know?
When it comes to bedwetting, one of the biggest challenges that faces most families is it happens at night. And most parents will think that the kid's just too lazy to get out of bed. But the thing is that for the most part, it's the lack of communication from their bladder to their brain to wake the kid up to get them out of bed. That's the key. I don't think there's a kid in this world that wants to wet themselves and then lay in it all night.
When we saw Dr. Skip, he said, there is nothing you could have done that would have just magically helped these boys start being dry. And then he explained the different things that were going on with their bodies. Within the first week of seeing Dr. Skip, they had their first dry night. And then the longer we came, it just successively got less and less and less. And then we'd have 3 dry nights a week and 1 wet per week, and until now they never wet the bed anymore. Dr. Skip was really good about explaining to them that I understand you've been struggling with this and that he was there to help. I know this is hard and not something you usually want to talk to people about, but I'm on your side and I'm here to help you, so let's work on this together. And then each week, it was kind of like a coach and team thing, like how did things go this week? And he would encourage them even if it was not a good week, he would say, "It's okay, I'm gonna help you. This is gonna get better, I promise." Then when it did, it built trust and made them more confident in working with him, which made them more open to talking to him and sharing with him about things the more we saw progress. So that really helped to make them open up.
One of the most amazing things with them was their body changed almost immediately. which we don't really see a lot with bedwetting. They were some of those kids that changed really quick within a few visits. Most kids take months to have change, and their lives have changed completely because of it. And one of the biggest things that changes my life is when mom says, yep, Tommy went to their first sleepover finally in 10 years. Now they can build on that and to build self-esteem and self-worth. And that's what we need out of boys and girls, is they can't always feel bad for themselves and they can't always get down on something that's not in their control. And the fact that we've been able to do that here and to get their bodies to heal up and heal that area, that's amazing. That's absolutely fantastic. I love it.
And a lot of times, just looking at their backs, he could tell whether or not they had a wet night or, or if they had been dry. So that was very interesting. I don't know that I necessarily was a believer to begin with, but I was willing to give this a try. And I was impressed when within the very first week we started seeing results. The kids look forward to coming here every week. They are always excited to see Dr. Skip and to walk through the front door. And it's like coming home. Like they make themselves at home and they go right to the same things and they color him pictures and he puts them up and he always knows everyone's name and remembers what's going on in your life. And I really appreciate that because he's the chiropractor, but he also knows us as people.
Seeing a family with 10 kids is a circus. And it's a beautiful circus. I like to consider it complete organized chaos. It is, because they're all here, they're all back, but that's one of the most amazing things about seeing a family is that they all heal together. You've got younger boys running over here, you've got little girls running over there, you've got the older girls in the family saying, hey, get over here and sit down. And honestly, Amy's a saint, and she sits there and says, you need to sit down, and they listen. It's one of the neatest, most polite families I've ever met in my life, and it's an absolute joy to take care of them, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
If someone told me their kids were struggling with bedwetting, I would tell them to definitely see a chiropractor, especially one that specializes in kids, because without a doubt it works, and it gives the kids hope that they don't have to continue to wake up like that every morning.